Can the Texans win in the future with Stroud as quarterback?
Well, that all depends on what happens in this offseason and going into next year. I mean, he's coming up for an extension. I don't think the Texans are going to not extend him. I think they will. I think they still believe in his talent. I think they still believe in his general abilities. But they've got to change some of that mentality. You know, you can't you can't be a gunslinger on a team that doesn't require a gunslinger, right? The other thing too is let's be honest. They've spent a lot of time the last 2 years building this defense. It's one of the historically best defenses in the NFL. Most of these players will be back next year. There's very, very few guys who are unrestricted free agents on the defensive side of the football. So they should be really good. That means they can spend the entire offseason, I would hope, focusing specifically on improving the offense. That means improving the run game. That means improving the offensive line. That means adding additional weapons for C.J. Stroud to throw to.
It seemed like they had found a combination on their offensive line up until injuries in this last week that worked pretty well for a series of weeks. On the other hand, it was just one combination.
Right.
Is that really the key here, that you need to have a couple more quality options on the O-line that, regardless of injuries that will inevitably occur, that your front five is still a solid front five without a glaring weakness somewhere?
Yeah, depth is going to be critical. Obviously, the Texans have all sorts of depth on their defensive line, and it showed. They had numerous injuries along their defensive line throughout the season, but they just plugged new guys in, and boom, they were in there. Offensive lines are unique. This morning I was listening to the Texans Post morning show, and I was listening to Andre Ware, and he was talking about how the offensive line is one of the most difficult things to really gel. And in fact, a lot of offensive lines, they spend their time together off the field as well. They need 5 guys who are going to be together and playing well. But to your point, they also need players that can come in and can spell these guys, number one, and number two, who can operate in the instance when there are deficiencies because of injury. I mean, you can't just go through a season and expect you're not going to get injured. Football is a war of attrition. And this is a team that has to get better along that offensive line. I think it's got to be their number one, maybe number 2 priority this year.